like to welcome Heather Coley from 4Kids Only School today. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about 4Kids Only.
4Kids Only is a 5-star developmental day center. We are the only developmental day center in Brunswick County that serves children 6 weeks to, depending on what their needs are, we can serve them up to 18, but most of our children stop at the age of 12.
Developmental daycare. What's the difference in development? What sets that apart, the developmental part, as opposed to all the other daycares out there?
We have another set of rules to follow in the North Carolina child care rules. So where most child care centers follow regular child care rules, we have more rules to follow, such as our ratios. Our ratios are at max 6 children to 1 teacher, whereas the state ratio can be up to 15 students per teacher, depending on if you do enhanced. And we also have licensed teachers by the state of North Carolina in all of our classrooms ages 3 and up, which is a requirement by developmental day.
And how many students do you have in the school right now?
We have around 250 students currently enrolled.
And they range from, like you said, 6 weeks to high school age.
Well, we are a developmental day center, and the other part that makes us different is that we serve children with special needs in our school. So we have typically developing children in a classroom inclusive with children that are diagnosed with special needs. And this can be speech language impairment up to children who are diagnosed with Down syndrome. Mm-hmm. And so we do serve some after schoolers who are a little bit older that have a specific diagnosis such as Down syndrome, and we do have a visually impaired student who are not able to stay home. So we don't have very many that are much older, but we do have a couple that still need our care. And
our folks in the community have that opportunity if they have a special needs child that they can come to you and qualify them to be part of the program.
That's right, and we have a contract through Brunswick County Schools to provide those services inside of our school. So we partner with them, and they help us to write a plan, which is called an IEP for those students, and it is served in the classroom by our licensed teachers.
Okay. And I know our president has both of her kids at 4Kids Only, and I hear them talk about it all the time, and they come in and tell me every so often what they're learning, and I am amazed with 4-year-olds what they are learning. I know right now we talked about them learning German, and I think they've learned Spanish, and they can do all of their numbers in different languages, and I'm just really amazed. And I think that's another thing that really sets you aside is those kids at 4 years old or whatever age they may be are really y'all are going above and beyond and teaching them unique things. Right. So what are some of the things that you feel like that sets you aside or that makes you special, kind of, for example, what I was talking about, those foreign languages and stuff like that?
Well, our teachers base their lesson plans every week on what's called creative curriculum. And so they take the interest of the children and they plan their lesson plan based on a book. So they'll choose a book and they'll plan everything based on that. And so, for example, we had a teacher that she was learning about Japan. Mm-hmm. And so they built a sushi bar in their dramatic play area, and the kids helped them make sushi, and they ate sushi. And we have tablets in all the classrooms that they can use for research, and so they pulled up clothes in Japan and showed the children that. They made homemade books out of showing them some of the things, what the people look like in Japan and what what other kind of foods they eat. And they make every area of learning, blocks, art, they add things for that theme to help the children's interest, and that makes them want to learn about it. Right. We try to do a lot of learning of other cultures and other things that you may not know more about. The teachers did a fundraiser to raise money to provide clean water in Haiti, and the children and the families helped us do that, and we were able to raise about $800 just from our families that we sent to Haiti, and the kids were able to go on and look at videos of that to see where the money went. So we do a lot of things that are different, or just kind of, take it a little bit further. Mm-hmm. The teachers also this year, a couple of our teachers recorded our very own Christmas CD. So every classroom, they sang a song or did a part in this CD, and then we sold them for $5 a piece to raise money for the Brunswick Toy Run this year.
Cool,
So
very
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
Are those still available?
they are actually. I actually found 2 in my bag yesterday. I stuck them on my desk. But that was pretty cool, and the families were really excited about hearing, their children on the recording. Some of them even wrote their own Christmas songs and did that on there. So even our after schoolers did songs on there too. So we included them as well.
I'll have to go and listen to that CD.
Talking about the developmental daycare again and going back to, you mentioned when we were talking just a minute ago about speech impediment, speech pathology. Do you have an on-site staff member that is a speech pathologist to help with those kind of things? Or?
They're not employed by us, but we contract with 3 agencies, a speech therapist. We actually have 2 speech therapists on site every day. We have 2 physical therapists on site every day, and we have an occupational therapist on site. And they serve the children in the classroom, and also we have a therapy room that has equipment and things for whatever the children may need.
And Heather, if someone was interested in having their child at 4Kids Only and wanted to be a part of 4Kids Only, what would be the process that they would have to go through, and maybe some contact information if you don't mind sharing that with us?
We are open from 6 in the morning until 6 in the afternoon. There's actually 3 administrators at 4Kids Only. I'm the director, and then we have an assistant director, and then we also have a licensed behavior therapist that is there 2 days a week, and she also is an administrator. And we can give a tour and give them any information they would like to see. They can come in and visit and stay a little while and kind of see what happens on a day-to-day basis in our classrooms. Okay. We encourage that. We actually have more classrooms than we're the largest in this county. So we actually have 11 infant and toddler classes and preschool classes that
and
we
you guys have been around how long now?
Oh, wow, let's see. Miss Pamela Wheat is the owner, and I think they opened in the late 80s.
And you've been there for 15 years, you were telling me.
I've been there for 15 years, yes.
A lot of good history there
Yes.
to lean on. A lot of
that is
good.
Another thing that's really fabulous about 4Kids Only is the teachers come and stay.
Yeah.
And if they do leave, they generally come back. And so we don't ever say goodbye, really. We say we'll see you later, because they always come back. We do a lot to try to keep, our teachers happy and giving more things. We just started a new retirement program, and we do a lot of incentives during, the holidays, and we do a big teacher appreciation week, and we really try to, especially we want to make sure that if they're coming to work and they're there for the right reasons, and the kids are, it's better for everybody all the way around.
Exactly.
So we really try to do what's best for our teachers and our students.
Well, Heather, I really appreciate you being on the show today. Will you share your contact information one more time, maybe the telephone number for 4Kids Only?
And a website? You got a website too?
We actually, we had a website. It was kind of hard to get it off the ground, but we do have a Facebook page under 4Kids Only Child Development Center. And my name is Heather Coley, and I'm the director. And the number there is 910-754-7777.
Okay.
And street address?
It is 344 Mulberry Street in Shalode. It's right past Autumn Care. There's actually a church, and we're right behind that church. It gets kind of confusing. I think people think we're in the church. We're just that building behind the church, and we have a great playground.
Well, thank you again for being on the show, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. We'll be right back.